Like, oh, let me turn this down because I hear myself over here. But at least I know the mic works. That's a good thing. Hi, everybody. Weather Extra on a Saturday. Hope all is well. Back to normal shift. I'll be here during the day today and the morning today and the morning tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis will come in this afternoon, cover the storms, and he will also be here tomorrow afternoon as well. And yeah, we have another 48 first alert weather day. Today plays out very similar to yesterday. Gusty winds, heavy rainfall. I talked about this morning. There's a very low end chance for a tornado, but it's the wind and the rain that's going to cause more of an issue today with dangerous lightning as well. There's a cluster of storms I'll show you in just a moment on the radar that are to our west. There's two lines. The first line's harmless. The second line's more strong in terms of wind and rain. And that's all getting here this afternoon. There'll be two waves of storms too. You have this afternoon, and then you have another round tonight. Both have the chance to have a lot of rain and wind, so they'll be loud, bright, and wet. And again, very low tornado chance. It's going to be interesting to see what they do for our area, the SPC, because they're probably going to issue some kind of watch. It should be a severe thunderstorm watch. It should be. But because of what we had happen in May, it will probably be a tornado watch, most likely. But we'll see how it plays out. There's the temperatures right now. A lot of 70s to near 80 degrees, and it is 8:30 in the morning, just to remind you. These are not our daytime high temperatures. Yesterday, we hit 90 for many locations. It felt like close to 100 with the humidity, and it was icky, sticky, gross. And we have the icky stickies in place right now. What I mean by icky stickies is it's the air you can wear. When your dew points are in the 70s, there's two things that are happening. You're sweating to the oldies and you're really, really hot. And you're probably dodging storms throughout the day because all you need is some kind of lifting mechanism with all that moisture in the air to produce some strong to severe weather. There's the clusters of storms to the west. And you can see that there's two distinct clusters. One about to hit Memphis. That's not severe. It's the one behind it that packs more of a punch. So we've still got a couple hours before they get here. That first line will probably mainly stay north. They'll be close, but nonetheless, that's where the storms are that we're tracking for today. And your afternoon planner features those storms getting here by about, we'll say, noon to 1 o'clock for northwest Alabama. They will move east, and they'll be out of here by 5 or 6. And then you get a little break in the action in the evening. So that's round one of rain and wind. A lot of lightning. There it is in a storm timeline for you. 12 to 2, 1 to 3, 2 to 5. Round one. I did not make a time graphic for round two tonight. I'll leave that to Brad. I didn't want to throw out two different time frame graphics because I feel like it would be confusing to many. So I just went with one, and then I'll show you the hour by hour forecast. And there it goes. That was the first line. Here's the second line at 10 p.m. And then that will continue to move through the area till about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And then much of Sunday actually looks dry now. There's a few storms. That's about it. Really early in the morning and really late in the evening. Hi, Kirsten. Good to see you. Hi, Annette. Good to see you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, D. I am here for that. Good morning to you, my friend. Hope all is well. Jameson from Priceville is on. Jasmine says, okay, then. I think that's okay. I'm okay. You okay? Good, good, good. A grand rising from Scottsboro, Jasmine says. Good morning to you. I like that. Brett, good morning from Decatur. It's good to see you, Brett. Thank you for saying hi. Christine Tinker from beautiful Bryant is on this morning. Good to see you. Debbie is from Mud Tavern is on this morning. Debbie Grant Beeson and Denise. Coffee on the deck morning with the dachshund. Hey, that's a good idea right there. You hang out with the dog on the porch and have a good morning, but you're sweating a lot. Lot of humidity. All right, storm fuel. What this number does is you're looking for 500, it's J/kg. You're like, what does that mean? Joules per kilogram, okay? This is a great way, we call it CAPE. It's a great way to indicate what kind of juice there is for the storms to develop. The higher numbers obviously indicate the potential for more severe impact. When those storms approach from the northwest, I know that Florence thing says 20 right there, but that's because the storm's already moved east on this graphic. They're close to 2,000 when the storms move into the area. So that's a lot of instability. There's a little shear for tornadoes, but not much. But there is definitely enough to support some dangerous winds and heavy rainfall, and even the potential for some large hail. They'll rip across the area again by 7 o'clock, and then behind it, there's not much instability. That should weaken things a bit. You see here that there's a little storm action, but notice where the J/KG is, right? Under 500, which tells me that the first round of storms will likely be the more impactful one, and then the ones overnight, probably not so much, okay? So there's 2 lines of storms. Remember, the first line's in the afternoon, second line is overnight, and here's the main threats for today. And then for tonight, I think you can scale it back just a little bit where it won't be quite as much wind, quite as much rain. Well, no, there'll be a lot of rain, but not as much wind with the storms overnight. So I hope that helps everybody. Where did I leave off? Laura Lee is on. Good morning to you. Nathan's on from Florence. Good to see you on, Nathan. Thank you for stopping by. Hi, Mike. Good morning to you. Thank you for hanging out for Weather Extra. Appreciate that. Good to see everybody on. A very happy morning. Hope you all having some coffee. I have to tell you, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I worked so many nights recently that, boy, I could not go to bed last night. And it was tough. I fell asleep at like midnight because my body, I would go to bed at midnight every night. And then the alarm went off at 2 o'clock and I was like, oh, painful. Got to get back to morning hour sleep, right? Hey, Holly, good morning from Trinity. Always good to see you on. I've got the storm threats up there for today, everybody. And then tonight, like I said, the second round of storms, you might want to scale it back just a little bit. But still, you know, trying to sleep at night, 10, 11 o'clock, those storms roll in. After the storms this afternoon, what's going on? Just so you know, there's 2 storms, 2 lines of storms, 2 rounds of storms. I don't want to say lines because the first one's going to be kind of like this broken, mismatchy looking thing on your radar. It's going to look really weird, but they're going to still pack a punch, okay? Hey, beautiful Flintville, Tennessee. Ashley, good to see you on. Always good to see everybody on from Tennessee. Jill Holland's on from Hartselle. I might be in Hartselle today. Rumor has it Jeff might be doing lunch at one of my favorite restaurants today. Don says, hey, Jeff, yard sale in Scottsboro in front of Kramer's Gym. Awesome weather right now. Good. Enjoy. Ride it as long as you can. I think you got a little window here, Don. It doesn't look good this afternoon. So sell, sell, sell. You ever see Trading Places? Sell, sell, sell. It's a great movie, by the way. Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd. Back in the 80s, I think. Late 80s? I'm not sure. Anyway, Trading Places. It was good stuff. Anyway, that was a line from it. And Dawn, not that you guys care, but Dawn is trying to get that yard sale in. And I remember talking to you, Dawn, during the week. And yeah, you got a little window here. Ride it. You got it. Like a surfer. Ride that wave until the storms come this afternoon and your yard sale gets wet. Dinah, good morning from Trinity. Good to see you. Teresa's in from Florence. Always love talking to everybody from Northwest Alabama. All great. Christy Bradford's from Somerville. Good morning to you. In caps. Let everybody know Christy is in the house. Love it. Peggy, good morning. You're very welcome. Bobo, about the same time frame as yesterday. Yeah, actually, it's almost exactly the same time. I'll put the graphic up again. But yeah, I mean, it's like, it's a carbon copy of yesterday. Except, like I said, there's probably going to be they might issue a tornado watch. We'll see what happens. It really should be a severe thunderstorm watch. But here's the timeline there. So 12 to 2, 1 to 3, yeah. I mean, I was actually at home sleeping, napping yesterday when the storms hit. My dog went crazy, but that's about the same time. And not everybody had severe weather yesterday, but where we did, there was some trees down and there's some storm damage. But yeah, very similar. But that's a good call. Dina, hello from New Hope. Good to see you on. Beautiful New Hope. There's your timeline, everybody, if you're just coming on. Yeah, Kyle says, definitely a little scary last night during the tornado warning. So Kyle lives up in Shelbyville, and there was a tornado warning last night for Lincoln County, northern Lincoln County, about 9:30. Brad went on. It looked intimidating at first, and it broadened out really, really, really fast. So I don't think that they have anything that they're going to go survey up there, but certainly some damaging winds. And anytime the sirens go off, it freaks everyone out. So, and understandably so, of course. Jasmine, yeah, feeling how I felt this morning. Kim says Muscle Shoals loves 48. Oh, Kim, we love you too. That's pretty awesome to say, and thank you. Well, that's a good way to start the day. 48 is a pretty cool place to work, by the way. I've worked at a lot of stations. I'm like the nomad of meteorologists. Literally worked at, I think, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, maybe 5. This might be my fifth station in 20 years. That's really not that bad. But best station I've ever worked at, by far. Larry, Bailington, good, hot, and hot already. Yeah, the temperatures, Larry, they're firing up. 70s to near 80 already, and so humid. So yesterday, storms race through, woke me up. My dog goes crazy. Storms move out. I go to my back porch to hang out because that's what I do because I love my little patio time. And I bring the dogs out with me, trying to calm him down. And I figured, all right, it rained a little bit. Maybe the air will feel a little cooler. It'll feel okay. Because I knew it was hot. I knew we had a chance to hit 90 on Friday, and we did. And it was really sticky. I mean, it was like close to like 97 feel-like temperature yesterday. And I walked outside, and I was like, it was stifling. I was like, wow. I feel like I literally just lost 10 pounds walking out the door because it was so humid even after the rain came through. And that's going to be, no matter whatever happens with the storms today, tonight, and then the rest of the forecast, which I'll put the 10-day back up in a moment. No matter how many storms you have each and every day, right? It is humid all the way through the end of the week. And not just like little tiny humid, like I talk like full throttle, icky, sticky grossness humid, all the way through Friday. I don't care what your temperature is or how much rain you get that day. It is a constant humidity. And we went from not really having much humidity in May to really flipping that switch on, and it has gotten really gross really fast. So, okay. I'm like the bearer of bad news, apparently. So there's your timeline for today. Remember, there's a second round of storms later tonight. There's going to be 2. I'm going to go back. I want to show you back to the 10-day again. Because what I want to do is I'm going to pop this up again. And I have a 40% chance of rain in there for tomorrow. I tell you right now, that is tough to find because it does not look like it's going to be that wet Sunday. Sunday looks dry for most of the day. So if you have outdoor plans, now through noon, good, and then tomorrow should be all right. Monday has a potential to be another round of some strong storms. You got to keep an eye on Monday, and then the overall coverage of storms will back off a bit Tuesday, Wednesday. But they're going to return again for Thursday, Friday, and into next weekend. In fact, the end of the week and next weekend, based on the forecast models like a week out, look like a soaker for next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And a lot of that could back off, and you could get some drier times, and maybe it won't be as wet. But it looks like it could be really, really wet Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's like a front just sticks right across the area and keeps showers and storms in the whole time. Plus, it's going to be humid. We're going to be like slightly south of that front, which keeps the icky stickies in place, adds more moisture to the atmosphere. You wring it out like a sponge. Lots of rain. Okay? In a nutshell. All right, where did I leave off? I see Dawn. I see Christy. New Hope. Hi, Eric from Hartselle. Good to see you. I will be in Hartselle today. I already said that. I love Hartselle so much. Crystal from Albertville is here. Good to see you on. Deborah says good morning to everybody. Travis is in Fayetteville. Good to see you on. Crystal, Albertville, I got that one. Good morning to you, Travis. Thank you for saying hi. If I miss anybody's comment, it's not on purpose. It's just because I can't scroll fast enough. Fred, good morning to you from Owens Crossroads. OCR in the house. Yes. Beautiful Tony. I was in Tony yesterday hanging out for a little while. And Phil, thank you for saying hi. Holly says good morning. Jessica's here from Moulton, which is fantastic. Cheryl says I have a wedding at the evening at 6 p.m. at the Von Braun Center. You could time this perfectly. If you have round 1 move out, you have a wedding, get hitched. If it's you or somebody else, I don't know. And then round 2 comes in after that. You might have the most perfectly timed wedding this evening. If it's yours or somebody else's, I don't know. So, Christopher, Decatur. You got some storms coming, Christine Tinker and beautiful Bryant. How's your weather today? But your storms come in a lot later today. Probably more past like 2, 3 o'clock for you and Bryant. Maybe even 4 o'clock. You were like way northeast corners. You got time, okay? So that's your forecast for today. Kelly says it's too early for storms today. Yeah, that's good because there's no storms right now. You got time. You got time. Wow, where did I leave off? So it keeps resetting my comments, everybody, so I'm going to have to scoot down. So if I did not see a comment from you or read it, it's not on purpose, okay? Kelly says, I'm in Lincoln County. It's been rough the last few storms in the north part of the county. Yeah, it's been really rough since May. Yeah, we've had a lot of storms. It's been very active since about like May 12th. If it's not a tornado, it's damaging winds. If it's not damaging winds, it's heavy rainfall. If it's not heavy rainfall, it's lightning hitting a house or a tree. It's ridiculous, and it doesn't stop. And it continues this week. And yesterday, Brad was tracking severe weather on air yesterday, and probably will be doing it again today, where at least there's some severe thunderstorms. And if you're one of those places that's been lucky and you don't know what I'm talking about and life has been good, you don't have any severe weather and everything's all right, then good, that's great. But other locations haven't been so fortunate. It's been like one after another, like each and every day. It's been tough. Very active pattern for sure. All right, Angela's gone. Good morning to you. Hi, Denise. Good morning. Shay says, no, I was here when he first came on just trying to see if it's going to be enough rain to cancel the races for tonight. That's a great question. Races for tonight. Ooh. Might catch a window. Gosh, that window better work for everybody. You get poured on till 5 and then stop the rain, turn it back on at 10. Whatever your evening plans are, if they're between 5 and 10, you may catch this like golden break in between both. Bluntsville's in the house. Hi, Denise. How are you doing? Good to see you on. Do we have time for the pool in Huntsville? Says Labrith. Yeah, I think so. I mean, right now, go jump in the pool. You're good. You got until if I don't know where your pool is, but you got until the afternoon. So just got to keep an eye on the radar, because when those storms roll in and you're in the pool and there's a lot of lightning, that's a very bad combination. So also free fishing day today across Alabama. So many of you writing me this morning asking me if you could go fishing. I always say, do you and have fun, but just be aware. That's all it is. It's not like you don't have to batten down the hatches, like so often, 48 First Alert Day, we want to keep you all safe. But we also know that you want to have a life too. And if there's a window of opportunity to be outside today before the storms get here, take full advantage. Why not? Just got to be weather alert in the afternoon. Half the time when we get these storms, they literally last at your house for 10 minutes and then they move out. But if they pack a punch with damaging winds, it could be more of an issue, obviously, because you could have some damage, and we don't want that, or you could lose power. But, I mean, a lot of times, like yesterday, it rained at my house 4 separate occasions in the afternoon, freaked my dog out, but each downpour literally lasted for maybe 5 minutes, and then they were gone. So overall impact in the afternoon, not much, but it still brought a lot of heavy rain. I had some pretty gusty winds, too, at my house, too. I live in Northwest Huntsville. And, but impact, yes. Did it last all afternoon? No. So there you go. That's my plan, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Isn't that a song? All right, B-Day party in Madison at 3. That does not look good. No. There's also that party at Redstone today. They're having a party at 3 o'clock. Everybody wants to go to a party. That is pretty much right when the storms are going to get to Madison today. So, Kaylee says, good morning from West Point. Good to see you. Justin says, say Worcestershire sauce. What do you want me to say? Just ask me to say Worcester, and then we're good. I pay a lot of money to lose that accent, but it comes out every once in a while, especially after a pint or two. Jennifer, I know this is not our area, but a friend's wedding is near Troy. You can ask me any question about Alabama. So the storms in South Alabama, that's more of an overnight Sunday event. In fact, the second round of storms that are going to impact us here overnight pose a greater threat for areas Birmingham South overnight into tomorrow morning. Today, there's not really much going on down there until later. In fact, that may bode well for the Alabama game. They're playing Coastal Carolina, and they got to win 2 to advance to the College World Series, losing last night 7-6 in 10 innings. And hopefully they'll bounce back. But their first pitch today, I think, is at 2 p.m. And I think on the Plains they should be okay. Should be. The problem is with lightning. They take the kids off the field. They take the players off the field when the lightning is just in the vicinity. And it's good to keep people safe, don't get me wrong. But you can ask me. I'll try to do the best I can. I'm not really tuned into the Troy forecast, but I do like the Troy Trojans, though. Hey, Kaylee. Good morning, Thunder Buddy. I like that. Thunder Buddy. Where's Big Cheddar? Where's Samantha this morning? I love the nicknames. The nicknames are great. Thunder Buddy, Big Cheese, or what is it? Yeah, Big Cheese. There's a whole bunch of names. I don't mind if you call me names. As long as you call me nice names, it's okay. If you call me mean names, you make me cry, and I don't want that. So I cancel my daughter's birthday party at 2 p.m. Maggie, I don't want to be the one responsible to say yay or nay on that, but I can tell you that the weather's probably not going to be that great at 2 p.m. I don't know exactly where your birthday party is. Is it the same comment from before? I get confused. So Maggie, I'm not really sure where your birthday party is happening or how long you plan to have your birthday party. And what I mean by this is, if you live in Albertville or you live in Boaz and you start your party at 2 p.m. and you end it at like 3 o'clock or 4, you might have a chance. But if you live like in Huntsville at 2 o'clock and have a party, it's not going to probably work very well, unless you don't mind thunderstorms. So that's the best I got. I always feel bad. The reason why I say that, and I'll tell you the story really quick. I got time. You got time? We got time. We got time. So when I used to work up in the Providence, Rhode Island area, a lot of people were Boston Red Sox fans. And they had this game in like May, and we know up in Boston, when the Red Sox play at home in Fenway in May, the weather can literally stink. It could be like 38, raining, gross, right? So there's this bus, and they have their people in their little group community. They purchased a bus to take a trip up to Fenway on a Sunday afternoon to see the game at 1 o'clock first pitch. And it was supposed to pour. Like, it was disgusting weather. Like 36 degrees, raining, trying to play baseball. So I had a friend that was at the game, and it was like sleeting during the game. And this guy who chartered this bus for this big group of people to go said, do you think we should cancel our drive up to Boston to see the game? I said, look, I don't know if they're going to cancel, but I can tell you this. It's going to be miserable. The people that go to the game are going to be miserable. And I know it's going to cost you the price of the bus because you can't get that money back, but at least you can get the tickets back. But no, they couldn't even get the tickets back. That's another whole story. But then I was like, I don't think the game's going to happen, but I mean, would you really want to go anyway at 36 degrees and raining? Sure enough, sleeting, pouring rain, 37 degrees first pitch. My friend's there at the game. He's a weather guy too, so he knows. And they played the game. And that man who chartered that bus was so mad at me because they did not call the game. And I said, from that point on, I don't make decisions for people no more. I learned my lesson. I can't control if Boston Red Sox don't cancel their game on sleet and 37 degrees, right? So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Dave, how you doing? Happy Saturday to you, my friend. Hope all is well. You're very welcome, Claire, for the updates. Can you show the future radar? I can. I have it here somewhere, Kayla. Let me see, Kaylee. There it is. So hour by hour. The problem is I didn't hit the pause point on this, so watch closely. There it goes. That's the one in the afternoon, and that's between the 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock time frame. I forgot to put my pause point in. There's round 2 coming in around 9, 10 o'clock, and then that moves east, and that's out of here by 6 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, I don't have pause points in because I forgot to put them in and the graphics too far away, and I can't change it now. Okay? Sorry. I'm a slacker. All right, 10-day forecast back up. Jennifer says, thanks, good. Serenity, good morning to you. Brittany, we have a softball tournament in Monrovia and a baseball tournament in Gardendale. How does the weather look for those? Not very good. I don't know, what time you're playing. That makes a big difference. If you're trying to play the baseball and softball games like right now through 1 o'clock, have pitchers duels and go fast. Fast, because the storms come in the afternoon. But I don't know exactly what time you're doing those games at. So in general, I'd say it's a challenge for those games if they're in the afternoon. But again, if you're playing from now until noon, pitch fast, make lots of outs, and get the game over with as quick as you can. I hope that helps. Hi, Jamie. Jamie says, hey, Providence, Rhode Island here. Hi, Jamie. I hope all's well. Good to see you on. Jamie doesn't live in Providence, Rhode Island anymore, though. But Sean, what are you doing? I see you on. I am fantastic. It is good to see you, my friend. You put that comment there a minute ago, so I'm not late. You doing a little fishing today? You getting out? What are you doing today? You got big plans? Good to see you on, my friend. Always a pleasure to talk to you. I still owe you the hugest apology from that time I saw you at the hockey game. You threw me off with your beard. It was a little longer than usual, too. You threw me off. It's good to see you, though. See you. Yes, Jamie says, Jeff and I both escaped New England. Yeah. Yeah, there's things about New England I miss. I miss my family. But Sheree says, is this rain or rain and tornadoes? There's a low-end chance of tornadoes, Serenity, but this is mainly rain and wind. But I would throw the wind in there. The wind's the important part. You didn't put wind. So I'd put wind in that and dangerous lightning. Because I had somebody ask me the other day, and this is a great example of I can't answer questions for everybody with one big happy little present and then wrap it up with a bow. She says, so severe weather, what kind of severe weather? Rain, just rain and wind? That's severe. I mean, if you have winds that are 70 miles an hour and they knock a tree on your house, that's severe, right? If you don't even have a severe thunderstorm warning and you have lightning that comes down and it hits a tree and it falls on your house or your car, that's severe, right? So what I always say this is the criteria here with so many tornado or tornadic events in the history of the Tennessee Valley, some very serious tornado events. I feel like a lot of times there's people who gauge whether it's a severe weather event by tornado only. And if that's you, then today probably won't be a severe day. The chance for a tornado is low. But severe weather for weather people, to define it, is anything that impacts your life, right? Flash flooding, damaging winds, bad lightning, and all the stuff that goes with thunderstorms other than tornadoes. So I think a lot of times we could have damaging rain, damaging winds with heavy rainfall, and it can be a big impact. So it just depends on what kind of severe weather you're thinking, right? So is it only rain? That's where I'm going with. Is it only rain or is it rain and tornadoes? Well, only rain could be flash flooding for people, and it could have a huge impact. Certainly will have an impact on outdoor plants. So Brittany says, all day Jeff. I like it. All day Jeff. Big Cheddar, all day Jeff, Thunder Buddy. Just make sure you say nice things. I love it. I'll roll with it. I'm going to hit you up in a few new members. Oh, good. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that. Sean, just cooking out, my friend. What you making? Mr. Sean, what you got in the menu today? I'm starving today. I'm gonna go have lunch at one of my favorite places in Hartselle today. I can't say which one. And I am gonna devour food. Just crush it. Crush it. You missed the Village, huh? Yeah. Facebook 945 Live, the Village. Yeah. It's come such a long way though. It's at 9:40. It's at technically 9:45 East Coast time in the morning now. Where Jamie's referring to, everybody, is I used to do a Facebook Live up in Rhode Island, and it was cool. We had a cool group of people. It was pretty fun. Katie, what direction will most of the wind be coming from today? Oh, that's an interesting question actually. Non-thunderstorm winds will come from the west or west-northwest. Your thunderstorm winds will probably be all different directions with thunderstorms, but probably more out of the southeast. But when you have thunderstorm winds, most of the time they change direction depending on where the storm is moving through your area. It's not like one size fits all for the wind direction with the thunderstorms. Now the wind before the thunderstorms hit you will be out of the west-northwest at about 10 to 15 gusts to 20. But when you have the thunderstorm winds, they're all over the place. Probably more like a southeasterly direction, but all over. It's a great question, though. Serenity says, so no swimming and cooking out with the family today. You could go swimming right now, and you could swim up until the storms get to you. Just get out of the pool before the lightning gets there. And you could definitely cook out, especially if you have a little place that you could put a little cover over you. You can cook out, and you can kind of eat under there and eat your little hot dogs and cheeseburgers. I don't know. I find ways to eat food. So. Vacation Valerie says, good morning, Jeff. It's good to see you on. I have a text from you, Vacation Valerie. Yeah, and it says I'm here. I can't come outside yet. If you can hear me, I can't come out yet. I'll be out there shortly, though. If you don't mind waiting, I apologize. Jamie says, yeah, I've been kind of busy. That's okay. You come back and you can hang out anytime you want. Brittany says, for baseball and softball, it's all day, mainly starting at 12 to 1. The games, Brittany, earlier in the afternoon would have a better chance of finishing than the games in the afternoon later. In fact, the 12 new ones, again, just like the other, like you'd have to have a pitcher's duel. Like pitch fast, make outs quick, game over, and then you get those in, okay? But it'll be close. And then I think anything that starts like mid-afternoon, forget about it. Just a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain. The field could flood a little bit too. Then you got to take all the kitty litter and you got to put it on the field and you got to get the field back playing again. And then there'll be a window of opportunity in the evening where you could catch a break and actually play some games if the field is still playable at that point, right? Linda says Ardmore round 3, storms. Boom. Just like that. I don't play games. Cut and dry here. Come on, you stupid graphic. I'll put the timeline graphic up once again, okay? And then I got to call this a day, everybody. There you go. Ardmore, you're in the 1 to 3. Right there. Bang. Steak and burgers, Sean. Whew. Very bougie. Pinky out steak. I like it. Good stuff. It's exactly what I'm craving today, too. I am going to go devour and pillage like a double cheeseburger here somewhere. Kaylee, does it weaken before it gets to me? No. Everybody has the same risk, Kaylee. Everybody has the same risk. West to east, north to south. Same thing. Linda says, also Athens around 3. Yes. Ardmore and Athens, I would consider you both like in the same place, pretty much. Yes, 3 o'clock. Yep. You just hang out there, Vacation Valley. I'm going to wrap this bad boy up and I'm going to take it home. I'll come out and get that chai from you. Vacation Valley has a gift for me here. So I have to go out and pick it up. But I've tried to answer all your questions. I've shown you timelines, what to expect damage-wise, talked about 2 different lines of storms or clusters of storms is the better way to call it. Brad's going to be in here this afternoon. He's going to knock it out of the park like he always does, and he's got your back, just like he did yesterday when he was tracking the storms yesterday afternoon and evening. I'll be back bright-eyed and bushy-tailed tomorrow morning. May come in a little early depending on the convection overnight. If it's still fighting the good fight, I will come in early and I'll babysit the radar, and then Brad can bolt out of here. No need to have him stay late, and so I'll come in a little earlier for that. But other than that, another stormy day. And find your time. You know, that's why you have the WAFF 48 app, right? You get updates from it. We'll keep you safe. Weather radios are all working, by the way, for everybody. They were doing a complete upgrade, and they were out for a couple days last week, but they're back, so you're good. Margaret, you're very welcome. Wesley, go back and you can check the video out. I'm wrapping this up. I've been on for a half an hour, but the threats are all over my graphics on my Facebook page, and this video talks about it numerous times. And for now, I'm going to run and go. You all have a good day. Be safe.